All you see on CNN is anti-Trump slogans and white supremacy. But where are those good old conservative values and a faith in God?
You're like David Lee Roth.
Lucky there's the Irishman pod. Lucky there's two men who positively can do all the things that make us laugh and cry. We are the Irishman pod.
No, I was gonna say I like the behind the scenes, not edited, hard, just raw. Just record it and let's fucking go.
All right, we're going.
No, I'm saying that's how we do. We no edits.
Okay, well I didn't edit nothing. Just came out raw.
No, I'm just saying
I want to do a retraction on a statement that I made.
What's the matter? Which was this from
a
week ago or is this from an hour ago?
The last podcast I said he was against segregation.
The one we just
he was against desegregation.
Well, nobody's gonna fact check you, but
well, I'm just figuring.
Yeah, he was against anything that was for the black community and the white community getting together.
Okay, so
in his early years,
and he's probably still the same way. Anyway, so speaking of fact checking,
yes.
Kamala Harris was doing an interview on TV, and she was saying that the people who have to prove their identity who live in rural communities have to make a right. Xerox copy. Xerox. Who says Xerox anymore?
Well,
but she says, in the rural areas, there's no Kinkos or Office Max. So I fact checked it, and she's right. There are no Kinkos, and there are no Office Maxes because they are out of business, both of them.
I believe it. So it's Staples and what's the other one by us?
That's it, Staples.
No, there's two of them over there.
Where's the other one?
I mean, you could go to the UPS.
It was Office Max. It's closed.
This UPS store. You know what I mean? They have a copier. But nowadays, anybody has a Bluetooth copier or a printer. No,
everybody's got a fucking cell phone. You can snap a picture and email it.
What was that in reference to? Voting or just vaccination stuff?
The voting.
All right. Well, so now it's the rural and the inner cities that can't.
Yeah, they're all stupid. Everybody's stupid.
The memes.
I told you not to be stupid, you moron.
The memes this week were like the Oregon Trail, like Wagoneers, like we gotta go to the. We're heading
the wagon train.
Yeah, we're heading to the big city to get IDs. You know what I mean?
Rawhide.
Again, so even piggybacking on that, you had the 50.
I used to be a lion tamer.
You had the 50 Democratic House members or whatever they were, senator, whatever within the representatives in Texas. They left to go to D.C. and they're like, we're fugitives and we're not allowed back. And it's like, who paid for your plane? You're on a party bus.
Well, they are fugitives.
No, well, that's because after the fact, but they're not really fugitives. But
I hope they all get arrested because they're all idiots.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, but it's.
But how many times did Biden do that?
But I saw the dude. It was another Texas. The one guy from Texas, a congressman, and he's like, or legislature. He's like, no, he's the attorney general. He's like, they go to D.C., but they have less. They have more voting restrictions than we do. They're talking about Joe Biden. Delaware has less early voting restrictions than we do. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're talking all this nonsense and the Democrats are so theatrical. It's crazy. And everybody's like, well, when Ted Cruz was going to leave during the winter storm, it's like, yeah, it's totally different. And he came back and he was already had a planned vacation. These people are just like, well, we're not going to be on the floor for your House vote. So we're out. We're going to D.C. And then, like, I sent you one clip. It was entirely way too long, but the dude's like, it was like 10 minutes. But he was like this young punk, fresh out of Harvard, because the reporter called him out on it. He's like, you went to Harvard? And he's like, well, we don't believe in voter identification or photo ID. And the guy's like, wait, did you just say you don't believe in photo identification? And he's like, no, what I'm trying to say, and then he like spun it around at like, you're the racist and this and that. And it's like, that's their talking point. Like, we like kind of like what we talked about. Like, whenever they're entrapped or ensnared in the facts, and it's like, hey, what did you mean to say? Well, nothing. The way you were talking about it's racist and it's wrong and we can't do it that way.
Did you know that?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's why I said that.
Okay, so that's that. But you sent me this really great clip from Instagram.
Yeah.
And I can't show it on air, but I have to do a little preamble and explain the situation. There's two dudes.
No, I think one's a woman and
Nah.
that's two guys. I think the one with the bad beard like mine was a woman and she's getting testosterone. She might have gave birth to the baby.
Oh, so the guy
Is now a woman.
is now a woman and the woman is now a guy?
I think so.
Wow, how does that work?
It doesn't, because clearly this is insanity.
Okay, so you have a woman and you have two binary human beings laying on the couch together or in bed, whatever the hell they are.
Right.
And they have this baby. And one of them is a female.
Because somebody had to give birth to the baby.
And yet you probably, well, doesn't mean it was either one of them.
I doubt somebody would be like, yeah, you can
Here, have my kid.
adopt my child.
Now I'm going to put this kid to my tit. So the guy
Right.
takes the baby and starts trying to get the baby to breastfeed, while the woman who's trying to be the guy lays next to him smiling with her Clint beard.
Well, she had her breast removed, so clearly,
Oh, she's got no tits?
yeah, because she's laying there topless. You
Well,
can
he's
see.
done got he's just got his fat tits because he's just a
His-
fat dude.
his
He's got his
moobs.
moobs. So he's thinking his moobs are going to start producing milk.
Yeah.
But you got to listen to this. It's hysterical.
Oh, I put it up here.
The baby has been able to latch, but I've not been able to produce any milk. It's okay because we're gonna supplement the feeding with formula so that my baby's still getting the nutrients that they need, but I'm still feeling hopeful.
Hey!
I don't-
Stop it. Stop it.
I don't understand, like, you're a guy. I mean,
I'm sorry, my hormones are just crazy right now.
your
Okay.
your fatty boob is gonna get your nip. The baby doesn't know that it's not.
hopeful. The baby latched, but it's okay. I'm
The
hopeful.
baby doesn't know that your shit's not a real breast.
Well, the baby also doesn't know that you're the dad. There's no milk coming out of that breast there, buddy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, dude. Yo, bro.
It's not even powdered milk. It's
Bro.
just- but you can see like the partner. She had like because she's
You're right, because you can see this.
You can see the
surgery.
scars.
Yeah. So the girl's laying there topless with her tits removed, acting like a dude
And a bad Clint beard.
in the bed.
Listen, I can make fun
listen,
of myself. It's alright.
These people. Listen.
But that's not insanity.
No, that's perfectly normal.
That's not insane. We're crazy.
Where's the baby at?
We're the crazy ones.
I know.
You know what? If you were to breastfeed a baby on camera, we'd probably explode. Be like, man, these guys really get it.
We'd go viral in 10 seconds.
That's not insane, though.
We should get a baby.
Yeah. You got a baby mask?
I do have one.
I'll let you suckle from my teat.
That's called taking one for the team.
Oh my God.
Anything
Oh my God.
anything for the likes.
Wow. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, that was a good laugh. Thank you. We'll have to link that to our. I'll have to. I send it to you so I can link
How
it
many
back.
losers does it take to make me breakfast?
And
That's ridiculous.
we'll
Well, I think I'm going to the gun range tomorrow.
repost it. Ah, yeah. Well, you need to get your ammo. Make sure you save your brass though, because it's expensive.
Save my what?
Your brass. The casings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where I used to work, the guy made bullets all weekend.
I don't think I want to make bullets.
Well, it sound pretty dull for the weekend. He would drink like 2 handles of Jack Daniels and make
Make
bullets.
bullets?
So, he might have been at the January 6th insurrection. I don't know.
yeah.
I haven't talked to him since I left that
I think
job.
I'd rather just buy bullets.
But it was cheaper.
I'm not so sure I'd be good at it.
But then he would go to the range and then he'd have to pick up all the brass because it's his money.
How many times can you reuse them?
I don't know.
Because you got to put a blasting cap on the bottom of them.
Dude, I don't know how he made bullets.
And then you got to have one of those presses.
Yeah, that's what I told you. That's what
And you got to have gunpowder laying around.
All weekend.
You don't want to be that guy that buys the 50-pound bag of gunpowder.
Huh.
You'll have the ATF knocking at your door.
Maybe they're busy tracking down Lego sets.
Oh. Oh, the Lego set of the Capitol.
Yeah. You know, I got a Millennium Falcon and a aircraft carrier. So
Do you?
we're gonna go to space off of the aircraft carrier, and maybe they'll come to our house or my house. I also got a Lego set of Mount Rushmore, so chances are, and it's not completed because they don't have Trump's face on it.
Well, I don't think they care if you did anything to Mount Rushmore.
Oh, they probably want that blowed up, right?
Yeah.
Blown up.
They want that blowed up. This should be blowed up.
Yeah.
Redneck slappy pappy. Blow that shit up.
Yeah, so, I mean, we got getting back to what we briefly talked about earlier with the Cuba stuff.
Ah, Cuba.
Seems like they're pretty impressed with the American flag and the symbolism of freedom that it provides. Remember Hong Kong during the summer too last year, where like they didn't want to be under Chinese oppression. There a lot of American flags there. Remember the yellow vests in France? I saw some American flags there. You know, during their protests. Like, it's not just the colors and the stripes. It's the symbolism that the flag,
meaning.
Yes, the flag represents freedom across the world. And like I said before here on a podcast, you know,
The only virus we should be spreading is freedom.
yes. Well, hopefully it's coming soon. I don't know what's behind all these uprisings and all. I mean, these certain places. I mean, you got Africa, you got Cuba.
But who was the guy? Who was the guy that said "Don't come by water"?
It was the DHS guy. I sent that.
Matorkas.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, Mayorkas.
Matorpas.
Who is of Cuban descent, I believe, from what I read earlier. So,
Mayorkas.
yeah, so he basically...
Sounds Greek to me.
No, I know, but I think he's from...
Quadrupapalopodis.
Yeah. Well, it's probably his dad.
He's got a Corcus in his Mayorkas.
His dad's Greek and his mom's probably Cuban. 'Cause she probably was... She probably defected here. But yeah, I believe he is of Cuban descent somewhere down the line. And yeah, he said if you're gonna come by sea, don't do it because
Well, how else are they gonna come?
that's too dangerous. Well,
You can't fucking walk from Cuba.
they live on an island. Well, I guess if you go like maybe across the Gulf of Mexico to Mexico or Guatemala, I don't know wherever you can go that way, or maybe down south. But I guess depending on the flow of the ocean, it's probably hard when you could just, you know, it probably just brings you north, you know, paddle north.
It's a 90-mile trip.
Remember how upset everybody was about Elian Gonzalez?
Elian.
When he floated here.
We talked about him.
On a little tire tube.
Yeah, didn't his mom die? Somebody died bringing him over?
I don't know. But he floated here, and it was like, oh, we gotta save. Remember the Democrats? No, he must stay. And they were like, nah, kick his ass back.
They took him right out of here.
So I think what he was saying...
We'll give him back to his dad.
I know. I think what he was saying was, don't come here. We don't want you here. We're going to send you back because pretty much all the Cubans are like, yeah, we don't like socialism. We don't like the communism. We don't like all
What
this.
did Pitbull have to say?
He said what he said was good.
Did he?
I think it was a little long, but I mean, I know I sent it to you. But his thing was...
He did do that, yes.
His thing was, with Mayorkas, going back to that, was... So, or what I was saying was like...
I like just making fun of his name.
I know, but I think it's like, you know, generally the Cubans, I mean, you saw it in Florida, and, you know, the people from Latin America that are under those kind of dictatorships or, you know, Venezuela and stuff like that, they tend to vote Republican because they don't want your government...
Communism,
socialism, funded. Like, even Bernie Sanders is like, ugh, yeah.
Well,
I'm not going to say anything.
Bernie Sanders loves it. He just wants to be in charge of it.
Yeah.
Because he's smarter. I could be a better communist leader. You know, there's
well, it's funny.
Millions of dead bodies due to communism.
I sent you to. I think I sent it with Joe Biden and where he said we can't have socialist regimes in this world on the globe basically, and socialism doesn't work. And then somebody put AOC at the end of it, like, you bitch.
Who said socialism doesn't work?
Joe Biden did earlier this week because when he finally stepped up about Cuba, because
What the fuck does he think he's doing?
Jen Psaki was talking about how they were mismanaging the government and this and that. It's like, what are they running a fucking Burger King? That's not being, we're not getting the hours right. Like breakfast starts at 11, and we can't serve past that. They're not mismanaging the country.
Do you know what Jen Psaki's maiden name used to be before she got married?
Go ahead.
All I can say is thank God she got married.
Yeah, that was.
She didn't keep her middle name.
Is that after her husband pulled out? It's like that. That air release. Not a good last on this one.
That was a slow air release. He pulled it out slowly.
You want me inside you?
No. Yeah, so like Jen Psaki, she kind of was like, it took her a while to go like with they're communists and we're not for that. Like they won't say it. Or the socialism, they won't say it. And it's getting back to the shit that Trump was thumping about last year during the summer during some of the rallies that he did. It was like, it's not going to work here. You know what I mean? It's not like we have too many proud people that I like getting up and going to work. I don't, kind of like we talked about plenty of times, like I don't want the government taking care of me. Like I saw a breakdown of, like, you can go on the internet and they'll give you a breakdown like of your grocery list in Cuba. It's like 6 eggs per person or 4 eggs per person. You get a chicken a month, not a week, a month. You get so many pounds of beef, so many pounds of chicken, so many gallons of milk. Like your shit's all regulated.
Yeah, what are you bitching about?
So I saw like somebody else I was listening to was like, if the farmers, because the government doesn't go out there and farm the land, if you were to go like, I'm gonna go get those vegetables and some fruits off of those trees, they put you in jail. But it's like, well, you're not picking and pulling the fruits that are ripe and ready. Yeah, well, we don't really care. Well, I'm gonna do it. No, you can't. You're not allowed. Like, and they're saying that the whole the embargo, like, all right, maybe we should release it or maybe it should be up, but it's also like, get ready.
Embargo what? Cuba?
Yeah. I mean, it's been going on for whatever, 60 some years. What is it, 1960s it started? 64, I think somebody said. Mm-hmm. So it's been a long time. Maybe it needs to be free, but maybe the people need to, I don't know. Listen, it's a
Well, they said the embargo hurts the people of Cuba. And my answer is the communist regime hurts the people of Cuba.
Well, and they were saying, well, the reasons why they're protesting or they're out in the streets is because of coronavirus and vaccines. And it's like, no, it has nothing to do with that because nobody cares anymore about this stupid vaccine.
Shh, don't say no.
I'm sorry. We all care about it. We love it.
Oh, sorry.
Apparently there's monkeypox now, so we're going to
Monkeypox?
Monkeypox. We're all going to die.
I had that.
Did you?
I had monkeypox.
When? When you were a young lad?
Mm-hmm.
Are you immune to it now?
Look, I didn't mean to say that. I was a jerk.
What are you going to say? What are you going to do?
I was wondering if I could put a little saddle on your back and ride you like a horsey.
What do you say?
Do you just want to do a podcast where you play clips all night?
Yeah, let's try that.
No, let's not.
Fine.
Sorry to spoil your moment.
Fine.
All right, play some Saki. Where are we at?
I don't like Saki.
We'll just play her.
I don't want to play her.
Or play Majorcas. He's good.
Majorcas?
Yes. And give us a couple of...
Majorcas. I'm just going to make fun of his name for the rest of the time.
That's fine.
Majorcas. Where is it? Oh, wait. How about the Lemon Kumo fight?
Well, we can do that next.
Those two homos.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. What's drug odds?
That was a document. Drug overdoses.
Yeah.
For the year.
Where is by sea?
I don't know, man.
There's too much here.
Well, I'm trying to...
Yo, you did a really nice Fauci Biden broke back.
Yeah, I like that.
That is classic.
Got some good...
I'm going to put that's going to be the opening of the show. I don't see it. Biden wants to monitor our text messages.
You already talked about that.
No, I didn't.
I say yes, we did.
No, you didn't. Look, I came here for an argument.
Oh man. Well, whatever. I know I sent it to you. It's somewhere in there. Whatever.
Whatever.
All right.
Whatever.
Well, what else is new with you? You want to play some South Africa unrest? Because that's pretty funny. Because people are crying, and it reminds me of Minnesota.
Well,
and the Black Lives Matter protest last year, where
I'm so tired of all that nonsense.
all the shops and stuff,
All the shizit.
that are black owned and stuff. It's like, well, so I guess everything's not so great in the motherland after all, right?
No.
So
No.
I guess we should just stay here where
That's why everybody wants to come here.
why our dollar.
The greatest country on the planet.
I was reading too that they're very, very oppressed by their government leader, who happens to be a person of African descent.
Is that the one who got shot? Assassinated?
No, that was Haiti.
Oh, Haiti, that's
Yeah, that
right.
was Haiti.
There's a lot going on the planet. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, I
all.
know. That's what I mean. It's been a weird. It's been a fantastic week of drama.
Hey, so I got an idea. You know,
What's up?
you had a couple of things you were talking about last week, and you were like, "Oh, let's do a dirty some segment or some kind of segment." I think we should start doing some segments, and we should start also doing some predictions.
Of what? Well, what was the segment? I don't remember.
Well, the segment you were like, well, you were pretty lit. You were like 6 beers in. You're like,
Nah, I only had.
Let's do some dirty South.
you were doing that.
I only had 4 last week. It must have been a week before.
It was the week before.
Yeah, I was pretty.
You wanted to do some some segment of something. I don't know. That's a good idea. We just have to.
What are you gonna do? Watch some porn and
We'd have to-
critique it?
That would be funny.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to come up with a subject, but
Man, that guy's got a monster dong.
but what's your prediction?
What do we got?
Like, what do you think's going to happen? I mean, for me, this whole thing's got to come to a head at some point. People I can't believe that people can be this stupid. I mean, look at. I mean, all around me, I'm just watching people going.
See, if we're gonna go into this, maybe it's time to play the Don Lemon Cuomo thing, because that's kind of what they get into. Is like the naivete, the people they're so naive. I mean, we don't have to play it, but we can go on to the next one. But I agree with you. Like, people can't be this naive anymore to go the Delta variant. What's next? The Foxtrot variant. You know what I mean? Like, where? We're just gonna go through
Delta Echo Foxtrot.
Oh, Echo. All right, yeah.
Keep forgetting the Echo.
Well, no, I think I already passed that. But I agree that when I don't know. Like, are we just being shown all this nonsense to go? Yeah, you know people are watching them, or are the right people watching? Are the younger people that are within, let's say, the inner city communities that actually don't care or do care, or that are apolitical? Like, do they just watch their phone or hear their phone and go, yeah, you know, I don't care about that. I hate this. I hate that I'm being told that. Like,
well, I think there's a lot of people don't even really know what's going on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they're just living their lives, and then it's like, hey man, did you hear about this? These white people don't like us, and it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
They don't? All right, well, let's go fucking beat up Cubs fans or something. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be in the south side of Chicago or at the time. But I think there's a lot.
Remember when that was the only thing that separated us?
Yeah, sports teams. Yeah, especially in Chicago, you got White Sox and the Black Sox. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean?
The White Sox and the Cubs.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking, where did I get the Black Sox?
There's no Black Sox. There's the Red Sox.
Red Sox. Yeah.
The Black Sox. I'm gonna change my socks.
No,
All right,
so I agree with you with some of the stuff. I don't know what it's gonna take anymore.
I just can't believe everybody's this stupid.
I mean, we're running into gas prices, inflation, food. Like, I was talking to my daughter, who happens to be 14, and she was talking to, like, so we'll get into this. But I ran my son down to the airport last week. He was in the military. He was up for a 2-week visit. And 3 o'clock in the morning, we're at the Wawa down by the airport, and she's like, why is gas $3.19? I said, well, it's a gallon. She's like, well, how much is a gallon? I said, well, the big gallon of milk. She's like, well, that doesn't. How much? So she's like, is that a lot? I said, I guess it gets you, depending on your car, a certain amount of gallons gets you, you might get it 13 miles a gallon. So she's like, oh. So I'm like, it takes us $30 of premium because we have to spend $3.74 now. And she's like, well, why do people blame Biden? Like, hey, thanks. And this is my 14-year-old daughter. She just sees it through social media and stuff like that. Why do they go, thanks, Joe, thanks, Joe Biden, for pumping up our gas price? I said, it's not so much the president as much as it is the administration and the policies that they put into place that this stuff happens. So I broke it down to her on her level. I said, when you go to Dunkin' Donuts and get your iced coffee now, how much does it cost? Because it's her allowance and her little couple of dollars. And she's like, well, it used to be $2.60, now it's $3.10. I said, well, there you go. That's inflation. And she's like, well, what's inflation? I said, well, transportation costs, building cost, or to grow your cost, the products to grow your product, to bring it to where you are, to mix it, all this stuff costs money to get it to you. So while it falls on the, you have your retailer, then the consumer. It always gonna fall on the consumer. We're gonna pay the most because you want it. And she's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah. No.
So it's the kids are seeing it. They're realizing it's just, are they asking the right questions? I think they're, like we were getting back to, I think there's a lot of apolitical people that don't really care about it. It's just nonsense or ether in the air to where
here we are with a big argument.
Trump was the bad guy, and now all of a sudden everything's okay. But then it's like, well, even though he was the bad guy and mean tweeted, it didn't seem as pricey and as expensive as it is now. Yeah. Go ahead.
Lemon and Cuomo having a lover's spat.
My two most hated news people, Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo. Watch this.
I don't think that crime is necessarily just a Democratic problem in this country. I think it's an American problem in this country. It happens in cities all over, and not just cities run by Democrats. But it is a narrative that the right will try to spin.
Biden's rating on crime?
And most likely will work in their favor.
What's Biden's rating on crime?
Yeah,
38%.
Well, yes. But when did it happen? When did it happen?
Why is it 38%?
I don't know. What was Trump's?
Why is it 38%?
Yeah, but is it real?
He's gone.
Yeah, but is it real?
We'll see.
Is it real? Crime is at an historic low. It is creeping back up. Let's remember
Not
that.
homicides and shootings.
Hold on. So crime is at a historic low. When was it at a historic low? Under Trump? But now it's creeping up under Biden? You know what I mean? Like,
no, he's saying it's historic low now.
No, he said it was at a historic low.
No, it is creeping back up, and that is not good. But it's still at an all-time low, and it's not to the point where it was.
It's an all-time low.
Well, what's Homo gonna say? Depends on which city.
Homo?
Well,
which one are you talking about?
The white guy.
Category shootings in New York State and in New York City specifically,
from 2019 and 2020.
Huge,
but not from
huge.
The highs of the 80s and 90s.
They're up bigly.
Yeah.
How do people feel when they walk on the street?
Not safe.
That part is true. But that's how you
politics.
feel, and I
Perception is reality.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think you're right about that. No. You're talking about perception. I'm talking to you about actual numbers. Crime is
Remind me what
historically
wins an election.
Crime, but will you listen to me? Crime is down.
Listen to me,
historically. It is up from 2019 and 2020. And I do agree with you. One is the actual fact. The other one is that perception, yes, is reality, but it does not mean that crime is at an all-time high.
Hold on.
Well, it's definitely up from 2019 and 2020.
So he's just basically debunking his. It's not at the highest it ever was at its peak. Okay, we got you, Don. We get it.
Do we know that, though?
No, but I'm just saying, I'll agree with what he's saying there.
All right,
but it's higher than when it was in 2019 and 2020 under Donald Trump. So while Cuomo's going, it's at an all-time high, shootings and stuff like that, I mean, I post on our Facebook, some places it's like 1,500% up.
Yeah. All right, we got to roll out. This 30 minutes went quick.
That was a bunch of good laughs. Thanks, everybody.
All right, it's
okay to be American?
It's okay to be American.
Bye, everybody.
Can't touch me. Can't touch me. Just like
welcome,
the
everybody.
bad guy from
Why is there so
Lethal
much
Weapon 2.
echo?
I've got diplomatic immunity, so Hammer, you can't sue. I can write
Hello?
graffiti, even jaywalk in the street.
A little
I
bit.
can riot, loot, not give a hoot. And touch
Yeah,
my
man.
sister's teeth.
Am I
Can't
too
touch me.
loud?
I have no idea what's going on.
GoPro, stop it.